So hello YouTubers, it is of course me, Trollface the Man, and welcome back to just another video in general. Today I want to talk about these unfortunately named pencil sharpeners. This is Cum brand pencil sharpener from Germany. Now I looked up and it's kind of hard to tell whether or not cum would actually be the proper pronunciation, though that sure is how it appears to be spelled. But I looked it up and I can't actually find any translation for K-U-M in German to have any type of significance, so I'm assuming that that is just a name. Now what's interesting about this pencil sharpener is, first off, they're good. I bought a bunch of these from Walmart. They were only $1.44 each. But the thing that caught my interest is when I opened these, I didn't realize it at the time, but they are magnesium, or at least they claim. So my curiosity was piqued, and I was thinking to myself, what would be the benefits of using magnesium to make a pencil sharpener? And the other thing I thought is that if this really was magnesium, then it actually should be fairly flammable. Well, because believe it or not, magnesium metal is extremely pyrophoric, which means it will catch on fire in contact with oxygen if it's able to oxidize rapidly enough due to surface area and whatnot. One of the things that is a prime example of it are these. This is a magnesium striker stick with a ferrocerium rod on it. Now, many people will mistakenly call these rods flint, which is very erroneous. What a ferrocerium rod is the combination of iron and, how is it exactly pronounced? Just cerium metal? Let's see. Yeah, just cerium, which is a rare earth metal. And what happens is, when you take something like a piece of metal and you strike the rod, it causes little fragments of the metal to fly off, and it oxidizes really rapidly, which causes those sparks you see. So that's all this is right here. It's literally a ferrium rod. These are emergency strikers, and magnesium metal. So I can strike this one too, and you can see that it produces flames. Now, this magnesium rod had oxidized pretty severely in the time that it has sat in storage. But I can basically show you its magnesium by just taking a little piece of metal here, and you can see in the areas that I strip it at. Hopefully you can see, like that line right here is the area where the oxide had been stripped off. So basically, in a survival situation, if you have one of these fire striker rods, you would take a knife, you would shave off magnesium, and then you would use this striker stick to ignite the magnesium pile. Magnesium is pretty interesting as a fire starting material because it actually can burn about 3,100 degrees Celsius, or about 5,600 degrees Fahrenheit, which is extremely hot. And once again, this is a ferrocerium rod, which is not flint. Contrary to popular belief, when you strike a flint and steel together, it is the steel that sparks, not the flint. The flint is harder than the steel. It cuts off little pieces of iron and very fine particulates. As that iron flies through the air, it ignites, creating sparks, because iron is in fact pyrophoric. So what I wanted to do is to test to see whether or not this magnesium sharper really is magnesium, as they claim, is take a file and fragment off some magnesium from this and see if it actually ignites. So I'm going to start that now. Now, one thing I do apologize for is I wanted to put up this video a few days back. I didn't get the chance to. I've been very busy. Actually, it was my birthday a few days ago. So I kind of been busy with celebrating that. But the other thing is, this is going to take a while, I can see. I actually have an interesting story about what happened just the other day. Really cool one. I was walking around at 1:30 in the morning, just walking my dog, Caesar, and I found a wallet laying on the sidewalk, right? A few weeks ago, I actually found $20 just sitting on the sidewalk in the same area. I pick up the wallet, and I find that it has $200 in it, right? I search through the wallet. There's no ID. There's no license or state ID, which would have an address on it. There's only a immigration ID. So it's an ID that somebody immigrated from another country, and they have rights to stay here. So I didn't have any number or name or anything. Well, I had a name. I didn't have a number or an address or anything like that to try and get this wallet back to this person. Now, this person was a Mexican immigrant. He was a permanent resident based off the ID card. I just had his name, no idea where he lived, no nothing. So I take this wallet back home for the night, and the next day I stop in the La Mexicana market, which is right outside where I found the wallet. And they say that they know the person, and I leave my number and I ask them to give it to the person if they see him come back in. The rest of the day I don't get any type of phone call, so I wait till about 5 o'clock and I decide to walk around town again, seeing if by chance I might run into the guy. I don't run into the guy, but what I do is I run into a van full of Hispanic workers or Mexican workers who were just coming back from either a factory job or potentially working in the field. There was probably about 12 of them in a work van. So I walked up to them and I just asked, hey, do you by chance know this individual? And they were very nice. They said, a lot of them didn't actually speak much English, but they said, oh yeah, I know him. That's not an exaggeration. That's anyways, so they put me in contact with the driver, and the driver knows the guy, probably chauffeured him around before, and they're able to call him, and he comes and meets up with me about 5 to 10 minutes later. That person was so relieved, because I gave him back the wallet, and I gave back the $200 I found in the wallet. You know, it'd be wrong for me to have stole that money. I hate to say it, I do believe most people nowadays would have, because that's society we live in nowadays. But this person, interestingly enough, wasn't even happy, or he wasn't excited about getting his money back. The most excited thing he was, and I mean he was like ecstatic, was about getting back his ID card, proving that he's a resident here, which I thought was very, very cool. I give him back his wallet. He's very happy. Oh, thanks man, I appreciate it so much. And he tries giving me $100 out of the $200 that was still in the wallet. I refuse. I say, you know, it's okay, man. I was just giving the money back as a courtesy. I wanted to be nice. I wasn't expecting anything out of this. I just wanted to see that the wallet got back to the rightful owner. He insisted. I insisted. He insisted. And then eventually, I just was like, okay, I'll take the $100. Thank you very much. Now, in an awkward moment, he went to go give me a bro hug, where you get like the kind of hand and you firm pat on the guy's shoulder. And I misinterpreted it first, and in a moment of like epic brain fartedness, I just give the guy a hug. A nice, genuine, like, wrap my arm, give you a nice pat in the back, hug. In the middle of the street, in the middle of town. He seemed a little bit weird about it, and plus he was about a foot, maybe a foot and a half shorter than me, so I kind of had to like lean down and give him a nice pat on the back. But yeah, he was a nice guy. He was cool. And like I said, $100 reward was very generous of him. I wasn't even going to take anything, but he actually insisted. So I don't know. I thought it was a cool experience. I'm glad to see that person was actually happier about the ID than the money, because I thought that was very cool. Because it goes to show that I don't know, it just goes to show that that's how important it was to him, and I am so glad, because money can be replaced, but apparently that was something that was very valuable to him, and I'm glad that I was able to give it back to him, and I'm glad he was so cool about it. So, and the other thing is, like I said, it was my 22nd birthday. I've been a little bit busy. I was helping one of my friends move this weekend, and I didn't really get a chance to make any videos like I wanted to, and hopefully this one will be at least semi-interesting. But instead of having you sit through this entire thing while I accumulate enough of this dust to test this out, I am going to cut right here, get some magnesium dust going, and then show you the results. So, be back in a few. So one thing that kind of struck odd for me is why make a pencil sharpener out of magnesium in the first place? It seems like to me it would just be so much simpler and probably cheaper to make it out of aluminum instead. It's just so surprising. That's one of the reasons why I kind of doubted whether or not this was really magnesium in the first place. But I guess we'll see. Like I said, I don't know why they would choose magnesium. The thing is about magnesium, though, is it's extremely, extremely lightweight. Like, just the weight of this whole entire pencil sharpener, because I took out the blades and the screws, like this whole pencil sharpener probably weighs about as much as those blades and screws did. But, I don't know, it just seems so strange for me. Anyways, though, let's test to see whether or not this actually does have the same pyrophoric tendencies as magnesium does. Well, regular magnesium. This could be potentially an alloy, or it could just be fake. Let's find out, shall we? Now, I am doing this inside, which most likely, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not a good idea for me to be doing this inside, but let's find out, shall we? I'm going to take this whatever, this striker rod. I'm going to try and light this up. Whoops. Correction, I'm going to try and recollect this supposed magnesium dust and try this again. Okay, well, I did seem to lose quite a fair bit of it during that whole escapade, but oh well. Let us try this again. More carefully this time, though. Oh. Okay. So it does appear to be magnesium, but it wasn't very showy. So I have an idea. What would happen if I were to melt this entire pencil sharpener to a nice magmous pool and then disturb it a bit? I think that will work a little bit better. Man, this tin is pretty hot. Let's test that out, shall we? Alright, so I'm curious as to what will happen when we melt this sucker. I assume that everyone else has at least a little bit interest in that, otherwise you probably wouldn't have stuck through the video this long. So as you can see, I removed the blades. Okay, my camera is kind of freaking out. I removed the blades, so let's see what happens. I'm going to take this torch right here and blast it a bit. Now this is the infamous PCRT log, which I do a lot of my PCRT experiments on, or at least I used to. Haven't done much lately. But what does everyone expect this to do? Once again, highly pyrophoric metal, can catch on fire in contact with air. I can already see a couple little sparks flying off, but it is in fact melting right now. You can see it's melting. So not a whole lot has occurred yet. It's in a liquid state right now. I can see it burning quite bright right there. That's a magnesium flame. Alright. So, contrary to popular belief, that burning is not the log, it's actually the metal itself. But here's what I think will give us an interesting result. So if I take it... Woo! That is right. That magnesium, you can still see some of them kind of exploding on the ground there. That's about 3,000 degrees Celsius right now, by the way. Those little white dots. Very, very hot. And there's a moth there. You can see if I touch them, they explode. So yes, I would say that look at that one. I would say that was in fact a magnesium sharpener. Very cool metal with interesting properties. Apparently they commonly use it for stuff like this because of its super lightweight and easy castability. I don't know, it seems like I would use aluminum myself, but still, that was fun to do. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. And tune in for more destruction in some other video. Thank you guys, and bye!